In the top stories, all passengers and crew are safe after the Apple Cider ferry sank off St. Kitts this morning. A strong aftershock rocked Venezuela this morning as rescue teams continue searching for survivors. And on the international scene, Iran has launched fresh missile and drone attacks on Bahrain and Kuwait. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Monday, 29 June, and I am Jasmine Thomas. First, on the local scene, the Upper Cider fast ferry sank shortly after leaving Bastille. In the top stories, all passengers and crew are safe after the Apple cider ferry sank off St. Kitts this morning. A strong aftershock rocked Venezuela this morning as rescue teams continue searching for survivors, and Iran has launched fresh missile and drone attacks on Bahrain and Kuwait. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday newscast. Today is Monday, 29 June. I am Jasmine Thomas, and we do apologize for the breaks due to technical difficulties. Any inconvenience caused is regretted. First, on the local scene, the Apple cider fast ferry sank shortly after leaving Bastille for Charlestown this morning. Officials have confirmed that there was no loss of life and no immediate reports of serious injuries. According to early reports, the vessel experienced distress shortly after departing St. Kitts. Passengers and crew were rescued through the combined efforts of the St. Kitts and Nevis Coast Guard, the MV Marcana, and local fishermen. Following the incident, Minister of National Security, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, confirmed that he had been briefed and was in contact with Commander of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force, Major Coyote Sutton. Nevis's Premier Mark Brantley also issued an early statement expressing gratitude to all passengers and crew were safely rescued, while commending the Coast Guard for its swift response. We will have more on this breaking story in this evening's newscast. The 28th St. Kitts Music Festival came to a spectacular close on Saturday night, with thousands of patrons leaving Warner Park after another memorable evening of entertainment. The festival's final night brought together local, regional, and international acts in a lineup that kept the energy high from start to finish. Local recording artist ZIZ represented St. Kitts and Nevis with a confident performance that was well received by the home crowd. The legendary R&B group Boyz II Men then took fans on a trip down memory lane, performing many of their biggest hits as thousands sang along. Grammy Award-winning singer Fantasia followed with a powerful set, drawing loud applause for her vocals and stage presence. Reggae icon Beres Hammond delivered one of the evening's highlights, with fans singing along to his classic hits from start to finish. Closing the festival was reggae star Taurus Riley, who kept patrons on their feet with a high-energy performance that brought the 28th St. Kitts Music Festival to a fitting close. Patrons also praised the festival's production sound, lighting, and overall experience. With another edition now complete, the St. Kitts Music Festival once again showcased a blend of local, regional, and international talent, while reinforcing its place as one of the Caribbean's leading music events. And the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force has described the recently concluded St. Kitts Music Festival as a success from a public safety and security standpoint. Police said the three-night festival was completed without any major security incidents, crediting the coordinated efforts of law enforcement and other supporting agencies. Officers responded to a small number of minor disturbances, with several juveniles temporarily detained before being released into the care of their parents or guardians. Police also confirmed that one report of a post-festival robbery remains under active investigation. Traffic officers maintained the flow of vehicles and pedestrians around the venue, while 50 vehicles were towed across the 3 nights for illegal parking. Commissioner of Police James Sutton thanked patrons, volunteers, and partner agencies for their cooperation in helping to ensure a safe and successful festival. On the regional scene, a strong aftershock has rocked Venezuela as rescue teams continue searching for survivors of last week's devastating earthquakes. The tremor struck early this morning off Venezuela's Caribbean coast, sending people fleeing into the streets of Caracas, though officials said there were no immediate reports of further damage. The aftershock was also felt in La Guaira, where local and international rescue teams are still searching for people trapped beneath collapsed buildings. The government says the death toll from last week twin earthquakes has now risen to 1,450, while thousands more remain missing. The disaster has also sparked growing criticism of the government's response, with many residents saying volunteers have carried much of the search and rescue effort. And in related developments, the Pan American Health Organization has activated its emergency response to support Venezuela following last week's deadly earthquakes. Teams are now working with Venezuelan health authorities to assess the most urgent medical needs, restore essential health services, and help prevent further loss of life. Rapid response teams have been placed on standby in neighboring countries, while shipments of medicines, medical supplies, and other emergency equipment are being prepared. 21 international emergency medical teams have also been identified to support the response, with teams from Colombia, the United States, and the Dominican Republic ready for deployment if required. Initial assessments show that 91 hospitals are located in the areas most severely affected by the earthquakes, highlighting the need to quickly verify their structural safety and ability to continue providing essential care. PAHO has also appealed for additional international funding to help restore health services and meet the immediate needs of communities affected by the disaster. We now turn our attention to the international segment of the news. Iran has launched fresh drone and missile attacks on Bahrain and Kuwait, while warning it could halt talks with the United States if American airstrikes continue. The latest attacks come as tensions remain high, despite ongoing efforts to reach a broader agreement to end the conflict. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi reiterated that Tehran must retain oversight of the Strait of Hormuz, warning that any attempt to bypass Iran's role could delay the waterway's full reopening and further escalate tensions. The strait, which carries a significant share of the world's oil and natural gas supplies, has been focused on repeated attacks of shipping in recent days. Meanwhile, talks between the United States and Iran are still expected to resume this week, with negotiations continuing discussions on sanctions, shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran's nuclear program. France is beginning to count the human cost of Europe's record-breaking heatwave, with some mortuaries reporting they have run out of space for the dead. Funeral directors say they are struggling to find storage as the number of heat-related deaths continues to rise, particularly among elderly people who died at home. One Paris mortuary owner said his facility is full and that he has been receiving hundreds of calls from funeral homes and grieving families searching for available space. Authorities say it could take weeks or even months to determine the full death toll from the extreme heat, which has swept across much of Europe since mid-June. The heat wave has since moved eastward, but health officials warn its human impact is likely to continue emerging in the weeks ahead. We now take a look at the weather. Expect partly cloudy and hazy conditions today as a plume of Saharan dust continues to affect the Federation. There is a 40% chance of a few passing showers, mainly during the morning. Tonight will be partly cloudy and hazy with just a slight chance of a brief passing shower. Temperatures will reach a high of 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit, with an overnight low of 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be easterly at 11 to 30 kilometers per hour, while seas will range from 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. Sunset this evening is at 6:49, with sunrise tomorrow morning being at around 20 minutes before 6. And that brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.